Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I hope that you people are doing well and I hope that you people are enjoying this course. Today we are going to complete the Notes app which we started earlier. So in lecture number 3 we are going to discuss shared preferences, hash set and how to delete item from a list view. So previously in the second lecture we discussed different layouts. Array list uh, Array list acts as a data source. Adapter, which is like a bridge between list view and array list. I'm going to discuss this thing today pictorially. I'm going to show that how these items are placed when they work together. And then we also discussed how to add menu in our mobile application. Then we discussed explicit intents, and then some edit text functions. And then in the last we also discussed how to pass data through intents. So today we are going to finish this app, but today we are going to discuss some very important topics, which are how to delete item from a list view and what are shared preferences. Now shared preferences allow you to permanently store data in your mobile app. So if your mobile app has turned off, or if the application uh, is terminated, still your data doesn't get lost. So that is what we want in our app, especially in our notes app, because we want to permanently store our notes in our mobile app. And then we are going to discuss hashtags, and in the last we are also going to discuss alert dialog box. But before starting the lecture, I would like to tell you about the placement of different items when they work together. So adapter, as I said earlier, is a bridge between a view and a data source. A data source can be anything. It can be database, it can be cursor, it can be array list, it can be strings, it can be string files, it can be anything. Any data source, any data that is placed anywhere is called a data source. Now, the adapter pulls that data from the data source and it gives that data to adapter view. But adapter is a very intelligent object. It looks for the memory, it looks for the space on the screen, and then automatically it passes required amount of data or items to the adapter view. Now, adapter view is an interface where the user interacts. It can be list view, it can be grid view, it can be spinner. But in today's lecture, we are going to discuss a list view, and then we are going to discuss how adapters gets data from array list and displays it on the list view. Uh, but before that, I would like to explain that what our current app does. So previously, we have this My Notes application. It by default, when you start, an example note is added. So this is our example note. When you click on this example note, it takes you to another window, which is called editor window. Here you can like example note changed. You can changed it, and when you go back you can see that change. You can also add additional notes uh, by clicking on this item, uh, menu item, and then I can say this my second note. So if I go back, then you can see a second note has been added to your note. But there was some flaws in this application. The first one was that whenever I close this application, so the temporary data get lost. So I want to come up with a solution that my data does not uh, like vanishes whenever I turn this off. So let me remove this app. Let me also remove this app and this app. And now let me scroll up. Let me go once again. Let me go to example. Now here you see that that item is deleted, which I added to it. An example node, which is initially is an example node that is added uh, to this list view whenever you run the app for the very first time. Today we are going to see how to delete an item from the list view and how to permanently store notes or items in a list view. For that, let me minimize the simulator and let me come to the Android Studio interface. So here we have main activity. Let us summarize what we have done so far. So these are the packages which we are using in this application, and then I have on create method, and then on create option menu method, and then on option selected method. So these are the three methods that we used in main activity class. So now I'm going to show you people how to delete an item from a list view. For that, we are going to say that let me just expand so that I can see that what were the names of different objects that we use in the list view. Okay, so this is our list view. So list view is, remember, it's an interface. Nodes is that node array list which acts like a data source, and adapter is a bridge which takes data from the nodes and push it towards the list view. So here I can say um, public, or I can just say that uh, what was that method? Okay, that was a list view dot. So let me figure out why it is not coming. Okay, so the list view was, yes, it was inside. Yeah, okay, the list view was inside the on create method. So okay, so list view is visible here, so it's local here, so I should add list view dot, and the method is set on item long click listener. So there it is. So you select it. It is similar to set on item click listener, and then you create an anonymous object of anonymous class that implements adapter view dot on item dot click listener interface. So okay, the Android Studio is giving me the suggestion, and I think I should select it, and you see that it has inserted some default code, and it is returning false value. So definitely we are not going to return false, we are going to return true because we want to enable the long click listener on the list view. So return true, and then I can like make some space, and here I'll be adding my main code. So all right. Okay, so here whenever you long click an item on the list view, uh, you would like to have an interface that like that asks the user whether he or she is going to delete an item or not. So alert dialog dot builder, we create alert dialog or a window using alert dialog class, alert dialog dot builder, and pass it main activity, this current activity. I think alert dialog is not imported, so let's import it first. So it is imported, and then we have to call some method. So set icon, what will be the icon? So I could have like a default icon, or drawable dot icon underscore dialog, I think you should select this option. You can, I mean, it's up to you, whichever you select. You can also set your own custom icon, and then set the title. So the title would be, give it a message, are you sure? And then we move ahead, and the third message which we are going to call is set message, and the message would be, do you want to delete this note? Make a meaningful message. And then I'm going to set positive button, set positive button, and the text will be yes. And then when you press on that button, somehow we should delete an item, that particular item, from the list view. So new and dialog interface, yes, this is the one. So I selected that dialog interface in order to, like, uh, this code will enable me to, I mean, I should write here some code that should delete that item which is long selected. So you can say notes dot remove. So the position here is like that position of the item that is being selected. So I can write direct here position, but in order to be more meaningful, we should define another int item to delete, and set it as position. And now I can write here item to delete. So in a lot of cases you have position here, you also have position here, and these two are different variables. So in order to accidentally not to use this variable, you can, like, assign this variable to another variable, and then you can use that variable here. So this is that item that you want to delete. And then what we want to do, we have to set array adapter as, and call it notify data chain. So it will, like, notify the data, notify the list view that the data in your array has been changed. All right, so okay, so next we can go ahead and we can say dot set negative button, and set the text as no. And when you click no, so nothing will happen, so that is why I'm giving it just no. And don't forget to show this dialog box, and then you return to. So let us see our changes on our app. So okay, this is our app, and let me run this again. Okay, let me just close it down, and let me run it again. I'm just restarting it. So if you have a, that is why I told you many times that you should always have a good laptop having good processing speed, because the emulator is very heavy, and if you do not have a good system, it will take very long time to launch and to install apps. So there is our app. So let me first add a node, and let me uh, there, it's just an example node. So you see that it is added. So let me long click. So if I long click this item, so you see that, do you want to release this node, and alert block has been appeared. So that was that icon. So if I click yes, so that note has been deleted. Okay, let me also long press this and let me also delete this. So you see that I have deleted both of these nodes. So let me add another node. My node, go back, and you see that a new node appears. So this app now has the functionality to add item and to delete the list view item uh, from the list view. The next thing is that how to permanently store data um, or store list view item in our application. For that we have to use shared preferences, but where to the first thing is that where to use that shared preferences. If you go to node editor activity, you would have you will notice that we save our data in the notes array whenever you made some changes to the edit text on text change. Whenever this method was called, you save data to the notes, and then notify data set change method was called upon array adapter that was responsible for displaying the latest data on the list view. But here we want to also permanently store that data. So whenever you use this app again, so the data that you have stored should be shown on the screen. So let me first create an object of a shared preference class. So you write shared preferences, and there it is. This is that, and you write get, call a method get application context, and then get, call another get shared preferences, and here you have to give it two things. One is the package name, the other is the context mode. So our package was, you can see your package at the top. So in my case my package is com.example.mynotes. So let me select it, paste it here, and the second thing was context dot mode private. So there it is, select it. Okay, I should enclose this package in double quotation marks. And there you have it. Okay, so I created a shared preference object. Then somehow I have to save that data, which is an array, using shared preference. But for that, first, because we have a lot of data, and because that data, like I have to store it in a sequence. In order to store it in a sequence, you use hashtag. So you first convert that data to hash set, it is not hash map, and then convert it into a set. So new hash set, and there you give your main activity. You tell that from where you have to get that data. So we are getting that data from array list. Okay, I want to import it. So it is not hash spelled, it is just hash. So I put that data in a set, hash set, which is called set set. Now I can use my shared preferences object and call it editor, call the editor method, and then call another method which is called put string set, and there you can say that notes using key value pair node, and give that data source which is set, and then click on apply. So what it will do, it will like permanently store your data in shared preference object. Now storing data is one thing, but retrieving data from that shared preference is another thing. So we will go back to our main activity, and there uh, um, somehow we have to if I go back to my main activity, here we have to, whenever this app launches, it should, you know, get that data uh, which we stored in the shared preference. So let me create shared preference object. So shared preference, and whenever my application loads, you know that it loads on create method. So there is on create method, on create, and let me go here. Okay, so here somehow I have to get the data from the shared preference object. So shared preference, and the uh, method that I'm going to call it is get application context dot get shared preference. Again, you give it the name of your package, which in our case is com.example.mynotes. You give the name of your own package, and once again the context in our case is more private. Okay, so close it. So here we get the data from the shared preferences. Uh, all right. So if you move ahead, and so we have, okay, let me repeat, we have shared preferences, yes, and then we have a list view here. Okay, here I can then use the hash set. So hash set to give me string data. I create a hash set variable, and then we are going to get data from shared preferences. So shared preferences, this time I'm calling get string set, and the key was nodes, which we used in a node activity, and give another parameter. Here in my case I'm giving it as null parameter. So hash set, it is not recognizing this hash set. Okay, let me see. Alright, so I have to cast it to hash set string, the word that I not, I haven't misspelled it. So I think we have import problem. So, okay, I'm going to copy this line, paste it over here. So let me once again type it once again. It is sometimes, you know, you just you just use the wrong class. So there are Java classes, and there are also, you know, uh, Android class है. So select this one. Okay. So I was using Java class, so that's not miss. I mean, it was interpreting it as an Android class. So when I select the Java class, so the error gets removed. And now here I can say that what should we do? We can say that if our hash set is null, then what should we do? We should add us an example node, because here we have an empty set. Add example node. Otherwise, else, always use parentheses in order to for the clarity, because you are again going to read this code in future, and then it will be easy for you to interpret it. So but if our set is not null, so then the else part will be executed, and then the nodes will be loaded from the set hash set. So the nodes will have those items that we stored in shared preference, and then we get it from shared preference. We transfer them to the set hashtag, then we use it. Okay, now our nodes have all the item which we stored permanently, and somehow we have to display it on our main list view. For that, um, I'm going to, like, whenever our app this array adapter get notified data set change, I should, like, uh, I should get that data and put it in my hash set. So hash set string set new hash set main activity dot. So get data. Okay, I have defined a hash set, and then save it in a shared preference. So shared preference, just like we did in node editor activity, edit dot put string set, and give it a key value which is nodes, and then the data source, which in our case is a set, type set, and then not to forget apply. Alright, so what it will do, it will save my data permanently, and the purpose of this code here will be to get the data from the shared preference and put it in the hash set, and then load it in the nodes array list. So remember that we defined this array list. Nodes is an array list, so our data gets loaded into array list, and that array list is further like given to array adapter, and array adapter shows it to the list view. All right, I think that's it. If I close my application and rerun it once again, so Gradle build has started. Gradle is also dependency management system. It's a build tool. It is also configuration management system. It has a lot of functionality, but in a simple word, I would say that it collects all of your file, converts it into ap.apk, and then load it on the emulator or on your mobile phone, install it, and then run your application. So here it is like it is installing that app on the emulator. I don't know why the emulator is not gone black, but I hope that it will. So what is the Okay, in order to save time, I just want to like stop this simulator because it is taking a long time. Okay, so I have terminated the emulator, and then once again I'm going to run this app. My emulator has started once again, so you can always see this window, your task manager, and see what is going on. So you can see here that my CPU is almost taking a lot of resources. It is most of the time it is more than 90%. My memory is 6.5 out of 16 GB. So there is a lot of processing going on behind. So this screen gives you very helpful information that is going on at the background. So okay, so 51% of my CPU is being used by the emulator and 16% by my video recorder, and then you can see that there are some other application they're also using them. Okay, so now you see that it has added another example node. So okay, just want to delete the first one, delete the second one. Okay, now it is empty. I want to add some more nodes. This is node 1. Go back to our window. So I added one node, and let me add another node. So 2, go back, and then this is. I'm going to add one other node. You can see different processing going on at the background. So there is a noise, but I hope that it will not annoy you. Okay, I'm going to add node 3. Okay, so I have node 1, node 2, and node 3, and now I'm going to um, like leave my application and restart it once again. So this is my app. Let me restart it. Alright, so now it somehow it has, you see that it has added the previous node, but there is one thing that is like worrying us, and that is that the order of the nodes are not preserved, and it has also added this example node on top of this order node. Why this was happening? It was happening because here every time it is running. Okay, so every time it runs, it like, yes, like it also add this example node. So I should delete it. Okay, so now let me close it. I want to close it. Close the simulator. I'm having a problem in my Android Studio, and that is that my stop button is not working, but I'll figure it out. But for the time being, let me restart it. I do not want to add this example node again and again. I mean, first I added it, it was just for example, but this time, because this app is behaving like a real app, so I do not want to add it. So let my emulator is loading. Okay, so now you see that it has permanently store my nodes using shade preference. We use to store the nodes and the list view item using shade preferences. We use hash set to first get that data from the array and then put it into shade preference. Shade preference will store it permanently in my app. Then once again we get that data from shade preference, collect it from convert it into hash set, and then give it back to the nodes and then to the adapter, array adapter, and array adapter fed it to the list view. So I hope that you have understood today's lecture. If there is any problem, you can ask me online. Inshallah, I'll soon again. But this app is complete. Do play with this app, customize it, make add some additional functionality to it, so to have get a better understanding of it. Till then, Allah Hafiz.